Hey Nego Texters, this is Introduction to HTML. Now, web development involves creating the part of a website or web application that users interact with directly. Now, it encompasses the structure, design, and behavior of web pages. Now, the basic key concepts and technology that is involved in web development is HTML, which we're going to be looking at in this series. So this is introduction to HTML. Now let's look at a few bullet points on HTML. Alright, so HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Now it is the standard markup language for creating web pages or websites. Now HTML is the skeletal structure of a web page. Now imagine if you were to build a house, you would need to lay a foundation, right? Of course. So to build a website or web page, the HTML is the foundation of the website. Now HTML consists of a series of elements which we're going to look at once we start coding. Now HTML elements tell the browser how to display the content. Now if you look over here, you would see an example of an HTML document. Now do not rush to try and understand everything you're seeing on the screen right now, but I would explain it as we move along. Now if you look at the first line, you will see a declaration of a doc type HTML, and the second line you would see an HTML element. You would see head, title, then we have the closing head element, we have the body, we have the h1, the paragraph, the closing body element, and the closing HTML element. So I'm going to explain this in the next slide. Now the declaration doc type HTML, it shows that the document is an HTML5 document. That's just the purpose of the declaration. It's just to show that the document is an HTML5 document. Now the HTML element is the root element of the HTML page. Now you cannot start up a website or a web page without declaring the root element of the HTML page. Then we have the head element, which contains the meta information about the page. So whatever you place in the head element, it shows or it tells the web page whether you'll be able to view the website on a small screen or medium screen or a large screen. Now the title element specifies the title of the web page. That is the function of the title element. Now the body element defines the content of the web page and shows all the visible parts of the web page. Remember in the previous slide I mentioned that the HTML contains a lot of elements, and these are a few ones that you should know. Now the body defines the content. It tells the web page what to display. The visible part of every website you see is placed in the body element. Then the h1 defines a large heading. Now we have a lot of sizes when it comes to heading, but for the example we looked at, we have the h1, which is the largest heading element, and then we have the paragraph element. Now, so how do you know what an HTML format looks like? Now this is an HTML element format. So when you're writing an HTML element, you need the tag name, the opening, we call it the opening element, and then we have the closing element. To close an element, you need to put the / in front of the tag name, and then you put whatever content you want in between the opening and then the closing HTML element. Alright, so do not rush to try to understand everything. In the next slide we're going to look at the HTML editors you need to write an HTML code. See you in the next video.